Well, good afternoon, everyone. As they previously stated, my name is Niquanna, and I've been given approximately 3 minutes to speak with you, so I will not be before you long at all. Yes, I formerly lived at West Lawn Housing Authority. I utilized resources made available through the homeownership program, as well as through the Wisconsin Women's Business Initiative Make Your Money Talk program. And on July 16, 2013, approximately 3.5 months ago, I became a homeowner. I accepted the offer to come here today for 2 reasons. 1, to say thank you, and 2, to bring awareness and action to do what we can while we can. A brief snapshot of myself. I graduated from the suburban school system. I became a pre-med student. I joined the United States Army and became a combat medic. I was a correctional officer at the House of Correction running a dorm of 70 male inmates. I also worked at a Fortune 100 company and a Fortune 500 company in downtown Milwaukee, where I became a trainer, while building up my 401k and investing. And that's just to name a few. And then life took a turn. In a 9-month time period, I lost my stepdad to cancer. I experienced having to live with the decision of having an abortion. I lost my job, and 2 weeks later, I was in the room with my mom, Diane Marie, at St. Joseph Hospital as she took her last breath. And with not much fight left in me, I found myself in an extremely abusive situation. Now, with no job, I soon depleted my 401k and savings. After a couple of years of running and fighting for my life, I called out to God and turned my life over. It was then that the doors of the Milwaukee Rescue Mission opened to myself and my daughter and embraced us with God's love, where we stayed for over a year in the Fresh Start program. There I learned about and applied for the low-income housing. Sometime later, I prepared myself to live at West Lawn. And yes, I have to say I prepared myself, because at the time, my life wasn't on that avenue. I was a pre-med student. I worked at a major company. I wasn't so familiar with low-income housing, and I know the negative stigma that it brought. However, I could not have been any more wrong. Nine months after moving in, I completed and obtained a college degree in education, where I now serve for the Milwaukee Public School System. I began taking more concrete steps to homeownership and learned about the Make Your Money Talk program through WWBIC and opened an IDA account with the assistance and the support of Amber and Kwanzaa Morgan. I took off of work today without pay as my way of giving back and to humbly say thank you. Thank you to the Milwaukee Rescue Mission Fresh Start program and all that support it. Thank you to our city that invests in such renovations as West Lawn Housing Authority, which has been proven here to be an investment in return. Thank you to West Lawn also that cares for the needs as well as the Rent Assistance program as they extend such avenues to home ownership. Thank you to Wisconsin Women's Business Initiative and the Make Your Money Talk program. And on a more personal note, to my brother Rob, who is also an entrepreneur and owner of Ace Barber and Cosmetology, located off of Titonia and Congress, for all of his financial support, and even up to and including today watching my 2-year-old son so I didn't have to spend the time taking him to daycare. Now to conclude, please, if there's ever a time when we are looking down on someone, I hope it is to help lift them up. We never know what tomorrow may bring, no matter how prepared we think that we are. It may be a time, even old age, when we may need someone to help lift us. It is easy to look down when you are up, but not so easy to look up when you are down. So again, thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Pablo Rafael Fontan. I'm a 31-year veteran. I'm still in the Army. And on November 2nd, I came back from military leave, and my job was eliminated. And I felt very degraded. It was very hard, depressing. And the week after, my son lost his job. So I'm like, okay, we can probably share more time together. Week 3, my daughter-in-law comes running to me and says, Dad, they're closing the salon. So I was upset, and I said to my wife, kiddingly, I'm gonna buy the salon. And my wife said, that's a good idea. I do not cut hair, and I do not color, okay? So, as time was going on, I was going to school. I doubled on my classes to get my MBA in Business Administration and Human Resources. I completed my school, but meanwhile, I had all the plans, and everything was working well, but I was missing money. So I had a friend of mine. I went to a bank, and the bank explained to me, you know, you're a new business, and you're starting, so I'm gonna give you this name of this organization, and it's Wisconsin Women's, and he gave me WWBIC, and I'm like, I'm a guy, I'm not a woman, you know, so what's the problem? So he explained to me they help everybody, so I'm like, okay. So I put the name in the back pocket, and I had drill that weekend. I went to Fort McCoy. And I spoke to a friend of mine because I was talking about security. And he says, Sergeant Fontan, did you try WWBIC? And I'm like, WWBIC? Second time I hear that name. And he says, yeah, they help out. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. So 2 times. So I get back to McCoy. I have to fly out to Fort Bragg. And there's a soldier that lives in Wisconsin. And he tells me, oh, my uncle's trying to he's opening a business, and he got a lot of help from WWBIC. I'm like, WWBIC? So here's that name again. So I get home, I tell my wife about WWBIC, and she says, call. So I picked up the phone, I call, and Benny Perez from WWBIC answered the phone. And I said, hey, this is Pablo Fontan, and WWBIC has been, in less than a week, I've heard your name 3 times, and this is what I'm planning on doing. And he says, just 1 second, sir. What's your last name? Fontan. So did your son go to a Spanish immersion school? And I'm like thinking, I don't know if this is going to be good or bad. So I said, yes. He used to go. Oh, I remember him, Rafi Fontan. We were best friends. So I'm like, okay, thank God. So he started talking to me, and I felt like, wow, this is 4 times in a week WWBIC. So I started talking to Benny's, and he was helping me out. Everybody, I would go to WWBIC to get information, and then we had a talk in front of about 25 people. They just told me it was about 10 to 15. So we get to the room, I have the manager with me, and we talk about our business, and I'm nervous to see that are we going to be okay, are we not going to be okay. I think within 25 minutes on my way home, we get the call that the loan was approved. So we started working on the salon. On February 2nd, we were able to get in, clean it out, and I had a carpenter who says to me, "Pablo, do you have a plan?" And I said, "No, I'm just going to pretend that I'm in combat, and this is the way I'm going to do this. So I want you to do this, this, and this. Did you understand?" "Yes, that's my plan." So he got it all together, and although we started working February 2nd, we were open for business February 12th. Okay, so, and I started with 2 stylists, and I'm up to 5, and there's 1 more that wants to come and join. So business is going good. And I finished my school in July, got my MBA. The school hired me to get more students, Hispanics and soldiers. And I did for 1 month, because then I got called from another organization. They were looking for a bilingual customer service manager. So I started September 23rd, so everything is going back to looking better. And like it was mentioned before, it's easy to look from the top to bottom, but it's very difficult to look when you're down up. And thanks to all of you, to Benny, and Lynn Creixen, who always comes in every month. We have a meeting, and she looks at everything, and she comes up with ideas. I use her ideas, and I do much better. And then we get the next month, so I get very excited when I know that they're coming. WWBIC is coming to visit, to talk to me, and we have our little meeting. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you to all of you and to WWBIC, because it's like a life raft in the ocean. It's your savior. And I promise from this point on that I'm going to let everybody know that's going to open a business that WWBIC is not only for women's, it's for everybody. And they are there to support you every step of the way. So thank you. So without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce to you our keynote presenter today, Mr. Bob Harris. Bob truly demonstrates one person making a different turning his opportunity into impact. Through the vehicle of microlending, please help me welcome Mr. Bob Harris.